So this is Sally Graham here with the beautiful Sammy, and we just thought we'd have a couple of questions and a bit of a conversation around her experience with addiction and recovery. So Sammy, I just thought you could just perhaps talk about when we first met, maybe, and what brought that about.
Okay, so when we first met, I was introduced to your church, three ladies from another church, and when I was introduced to you, I was introduced to you for a really good reason, and this was before I was baptised, and because of your history, I was going through, the same we'd been through the same, I was going through it, and it was very powerful to actually have met someone on the same page, because when you're coming out of addictions, and and you're going into a new life, new friends, new people, you always think that that no one's ever going to understand you. But if you can just get yourself around or get introduced or ask people to put you around people that have been through what you've been through, then it's going to give you inspiration. You're going to be able to go, well, you know what, I'm not the only one going through this.
Yeah.
So it was very powerful to meet you and to be brought to you, because I needed someone like you, to be put in my path so that I could help change my mindset of that it's just, I'm only going through it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was really helpful to know your story, because when you hear someone else's story and they've come through recovery and they've been free of addiction, especially when you give your heart to God, then if it can happen for that person, then it can happen for me, and that's how I lived with that. That's how.
So there was a real encouragement in my personal story, and then now you're in that place.
There was a lot of strength, very powerful, very strength. It gave me hope.
Yeah. So now you're in a position to be able to share a bit of your story, and we want to be able to share that with other people as well, so that your story as well, in turn, sort of the power of peer support, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, if you're happy to share a little bit about your own personal struggles with addiction, and maybe some of the things that you found really helpful, some keys that have really worked for you.
Yeah. So after, when you come into a place where you're getting the help, or you come to God and you give your heart to God, is that you still got to put your own work in. You've still got to put your it's not going to happen overnight, but there is support out there. So for me, what was so crucial in my life with my new change of life was that I had to have every week at least 5 days out of that week, every day nearly, have something in place for recovery, whether that would be a 12 steps program, going to see a counsellor, surrounding yourselves with other Christians, connect groups and stuff. Get involved with the church straight away. That is the most important thing that you need to do, because that's where God's going to speak to you, and that's where He's going to keep you strong. So church, 12 steps, counselling, connect groups, surrounding yourself around other Christians, surrounding yourself with anything to do with recovery within your addiction, to recover from it. And then also, being very strong about making changes in your life to move yourself away from the people that have still got drug addictions, that are still taking drugs. You need to that is so important, that you make that break. You need to, it might take, I know instantly you can't do it, so you can do it just slowly, step by step, and just, arm's length. Just say you can't catch up. You don't have to cut people completely off, because we've all been there. I've been there, and it is hard. You can't just, they've been your friends for years, so you've actually, you've just got to, do it slowly. But if they love you and they understand, they're going to let you, have your space. So I think the most important things for me, as coming out of the drugs and that, was I had to keep myself in counselling. I had to keep myself in a 12 steps program. I had to, keep myself around God's word and Christians and church. And they are the most crucial things that you need in your life. And also, not just that, doctors. Keep yourself at doctor's appointments. You're gonna need, people are gonna need medication. I needed medication for anxiety and depression because I suffered so much depression coming off drugs and stuff. So absolutely don't weigh that out, because medication is there to help us. It doesn't mean you're going to be on it forever, because I'm completely set free of medication today. But that's another key element that you'll need in your life to get you through the tough times. Whether you're coming off drugs or alcohol, there is medication out there that can actually help you through your withdrawals as well. You just need to go to your GP and ask them. And that's it.
Exactly. So it's a real, there's the practical, there's the spiritual, the social, I suppose we could say, all in there as well.
Yes.
What would you say, Sammy? I know you're a passionate girl. What would you say about purpose, if I throw that one at you? What about purpose? What do you think?
So purpose would be, for me, is that looking at the overall goal of where you want to be in life. Like that you are serious about you being set free of like the old life and addictions, and also and come back into the heart of all the things that that you want good in your life, and so that get yourself there so that and focus on that, because that is going to give you purpose. So step one, you want to be freed of addictions and drugs. You want to be out of it. Well, focus on it. Be purposeful. Do the things in step. You want a beautiful man. You want a husband. Do the work in yourself that you have to help yourself so that you can attract the right man and have these beautiful things. And then the more you open up to God and give him your heart, he's going to bring that purpose for you. He's going to show you who you're meant to be, like who you were created as, who God created you as, in the image of the right person, not this before Christ image. But purpose is also at the end of the scale, is that we our walk and our journey in life is like us coming away from the hardship in life and the addictions, and then being set free and going through the recovery. Is our purpose is to help others. So there's another big purpose. Is to completely be set free so that we can help others, and go tell our story to people and spread the word. There's help. There's God there. There's also recoveries. There's like programs. There's support. If you can do it, then if we can do it, then they can do it. Yeah. But we need to, look at the bigger, look at the purpose, look at the hope of our life, so we can give hope to others.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, thanks so much for sharing that little bit. Thanks. And we'll get to do some more. I think what reminds me of that beautiful scripture that says there's nothing that's impossible with God. And so we just want to encourage people out there who are maybe watching this, that wherever you're at and whatever sort of hole you've dug yourself into, nothing's impossible with God.
Absolutely.
And reach out and find someone who's a little further down the track than you, that can encourage you and keep you accountable and stir you on. Thanks.
Surround yourself with people that have been through it. Find those people. Ask where they are in the church. Ask people around, connect yourself with people. This is what 12 steps are so good for, because in that 12 steps there's people in there that have recovered from being in addictions for years. There's people in there that are 20 years sober. They're the people you want around you.
Good stuff.
Because they're the ones that are going to give you hope.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Bless you, Sammy.
Thank you, darling. God bless you too.